How's it going, guys and girls? Shanksy here, and today we are starting up a brand new YouTube project. Something that I'm really excited about as well. We are going to be going through the A to Z of Warframe. So hopefully we're going to be able to cover every single Warframe, every single weapon, every single companion in the game, and almost use it as like a video wiki. Which would be really helpful to a lot of you guys out there. For a lot of the new frames as well that are coming up, we're going to try and slot them in as and when they come up. But the idea of hopefully going through this year is every single Warframe, with the understanding of you guys getting a much better grasp of the particular Warframe. And then allowing yourselves to build it the way that you want to build it. But we're also going to be showing builds at the end of the videos as well, and to see what I'm doing and showing you a little bit of gameplay on how the skills work, what type of damage you can go through, etc. Now the idea as well is to be able to show you zero former builds, and then what I would classify as an end game build. Now the end game will mean many different things to many different people, but ideally I want to try and get every Warframe up to the point that it can handle sortie level 3 targets. So handle like level 100s plus. Hopefully we're going to be able to cover absolutely every single one of that. And we are going to start today off with Ash and Ash Prime. So we've got some Ash gameplay going on in the background. Ash is a really interesting character. You can use him for a lot of different things. Huge high level single target damage, decent for spies, good for survival with his invisibility, and just a really solid all-round Warframe, and quite a lot of fun to play as well. I'll put my hands up, he's not one that I actually use a huge amount of, but since getting used to him for this particular video, I've actually had a lot of fun with him, and been playing him a lot more recently. So without further ado, let's get into it now. Instead of doing Ash then Ash Prime, where the builds are going to be the similar and everything like that, we're going to cover the stats for both of them to start with. So Ash is great for players looking for a stealthier approach to combat. His base health of Ash is 150, his base shield is 100, his base armor is 65, and his base energy is 100. Now his base armor is actually really low on regular Ash. On Ash Prime, his stats are slightly different, nothing too drastic, but his health is 150, his base shield is 125, his base armor is 150, so a real big increase on his base armor from Ash to Ash Prime, and his base energy is 100. Now his 4 abilities are Shuriken, which launches a spinning blade of pain, dealing high damage and impaling enemies. Also provides a huge amount of slash damage. Smoke Screen, which is drops a smoke bomb that stuns enemies and obscures their vision. Basically, you can turn Ash invisible for a set amount of time. Teleport is his 3rd ability, and one of my favourites on Ash as well. I really like the combination of his 2nd and his 3rd ability personally. Ash teleports towards the target, bringing him into melee range of that target, and then allowing you to perform basically like a stealth attack on that target. And then his 4th ability is Blade Storm. Ash goes on a rampage, teleport into and destroying nearby enemies. Now, since in a recent patch, rather than Ash actually being teleport into them, he sends out clones to deal with them yourself. Now, there's a few things worth noting. As you can see in this bit of the clip here, he cannot teleport to the arbitration zone. So anything that's blocked by an arbitration, anything that you cannot use an ability on, you will not be able to use his abilities on either. No exalted weapons, anything like that. So a really powerful technique is obviously to stay invisible and deal as much melee damage as humanly possible. Now, going on to his abilities, we're going to cover his abilities in quite a bit of detail as well, guys. So let's have a look to start with. His passive ability is Hemorrhage. So any slash procs inflicted by Ash from both weapons and himself deal 25% more damage and last 50% longer. So if you've got weapons that you rely heavily on slash damage with, any Hunter's Munitions build, things like that, that's really worth taking into account with if you fancy using Ash or not. So 25% more damage and 50% longer, that's a huge increase on all your slash damage and your slash procs. So Shuriken, his first ability, he throws a Shuriken The way it levels up is you throw one shuriken, and then at the max level you throw 2 of them. Seek out enemies, each dealing 100, 250, 350 or 500 slash damage with 100% status chance. So a max level Ash will deal 500 at base slash damage with 100% chance of inflicting that. Damage is affected by ability strength, so the more strength on your Ash, the more that's going to go up. The bleed inflicts 43.75% of the initial damage per tick over a total of 10 ticks over 9 seconds due to Ash's passive extending that. The bleed damages bypasses any armor and shield. So should it hit the head, it will inflict 87.5% of the initial damage tick for the same duration. Now keep in mind, guys, with this being like a video wiki, we are using the wiki as a very, very heavy baseline. You know me, guys, I'm a hardcore casual player. I like picking my frame, doing an insane amount of damage and killing a lot of stuff. So we are using the wiki, so massive shout out to Warframe Wiki for all this. Shuriken will not disrupt your shade, so if you've got a shade cloak on, that won't affect it at all. It can be used to break reinforced glass, and you can use it while jumping, sliding, clinging to a wall, or executing from a front flip. And you've got a delay between being able to use it of about half a second. So duration, non-applicable. Range, non-applicable. The max targeting range is 60 meters, and then it's your damage dealt on this is based off your ability strength. Now smokescreen, really important for Ash. As you see, he's got really low base armor. So smokescreen, Ash throws down a smoke bomb that staggers enemies within a radius of 10 meters for a short duration. Ash becomes untargetable for 2, 4, 6, and then maxes out at 8 seconds. That's at base, guys. Obviously, the more duration you put on that, the better that will be. Your stagger radius will be affected by your ability range as well. Stealth damage multipliers are applied to melee attacks. Coming into physical contact with enemies while attacking will temporarily remove the damage bonus. So even though Ash is untargetable, enemies can still shoot towards you. Just because you're invisible in this game, guys, doesn't mean you are safe. If people are shooting towards your last known location, if you start taking big hits, odds are good you're going to go down. It's just the way of the world. It's the way it works. You will get to points within high-level gameplay with Ash, with Loki, with Octavia, especially with Octavia, that literally just the bullets coming towards your general direction will start dropping you. So that's worth knowing. Stealth gameplay doesn't mean you're not going to get shot. You might not want to have a companion as well. If you're really trying to stay safe, like stealthy, your companion might attract that fire as well. So it hides Ash from security cameras, which prevents them activating laser barriers, which is very handy for spy missions. It does not make Ash silent though. So firing weapons under smokescreen, they will still hear where they're coming from. Okay, so if you start firing weapons, even though you're under smokescreen, they will know where to find you. They will shoot towards that direction. So if you want to stay really stealthy, you can use bows, maybe the bars or stuff like that, or just use your melee. You know, you can do a lot of damage with that. Smokescreen will also apply to any companion as well, which is worth knowing. Which, to be fair, I didn't actually know that until I just read it, so ignore what I said about the companion, right? Ash cannot be knocked down or staggered during the cast animation. It can be cast in mid-air. It cannot be recast when active, and smokescreen does not end when Ash is down. So if you do get downed, your ally is going to have to find you as you're laying on the floor to try and help you out. Now, his third ability is what we're showing off at the moment on the screen. You see the damage that we're doing to these bombards. 155 Eximus bombards are being absolutely melted by this ability. And this is my favourite ability because it takes into account covert lethality. Now, to be fair, you can run any melee you want on Ash, but personally, I would recommend running a dagger. And a dagger with covert lethality is just going to melt these mobs. So you see the way I play it. I put my smoke screen up. I'm going to target the first one, and I'm just going to run into these guys and just start teleporting into them. Fatal teleports will one-shot these things each and every time. Huge amount of damage. huge amount of damage, and definitely what I would really build Ash around personally. So his teleport will teleport you towards a target, bringing you into melee range. Now, if you've got a dagger on as well, it also performs the attack once you get to that particular enemy. Now, with covert lethality, I genuinely don't know if there's anything in the game that can survive a covert lethality shot. It just does an insane amount of damage, and I really can't recommend using a dagger enough. So Ash's teleport is based off of range as well. So the more range you've got on your build, the further away you're going to be able to teleport. Targets that you can teleport include enemies, allies, cryopods, excavators, and some destructible objects as well will allow you to teleport to them. With smokescreen, coming into physical contact with an enemy while attacking will temporarily remove damage bonuses. It doesn't matter, covert lethality is on there, and you're bang in trouble. Can be cast for free, so you can cast teleport for free on a marked enemy target during your fourth ability, during Blade Storm, and that will send you towards that target and get you in place of the clones, and then you'll start teleporting around, killing the rest of them. Always worth noting, especially if you want to get yourself into that invincibility mode. If you're taking a bit of poison damage, whatever, it's a really beneficial skill to have in your back pocket just in case. It's also worth noting that teleporting to enemies, even though you're going to perform a covert strike on them, it is going to alert them to your presence. So if you're trying to use this build to focus farm and get the extra bonus from the covert kill, from the stealth kill, it's not going to work, unfortunately. Even though you're going to one-shot anything in the game, you're not going to get that bonus stealth kill affinity bonus. Now, Blade Storm, the fourth and final skill, project fierce shadow clones of Ash upon groups of distant enemies. Join the fray using teleport. It's going to cost you about 12 energy base to mark them, and energy per mark while invisible is going to be 6. So the casting cost while invisible is actually going to be halved. So Ash instantly enters a state of intense focus and he scours around. And then you'll start seeing little arrows appear over the heads of the enemies. The energy mark cost is affected by ability range. Of the efficiency. And target range is affected by ability range. Now, marking a target when stealthed is going to half that cost. So this is a really good skill to have. Damage is affected, it's worth noting, by ability strength, Steel Charge, Savage Silence, Radiant Finish, Execute and Dash, Arcane Fury, and combo counter multipliers. It is not affected by the by your melee mods at all. So covert lethality isn't going to help you here. So right, guys, without further ado, let's get into the build. Now this is a really simple build, to be fair with you. It's a one former build. We were using this particular dagger on all the footage. It is a Zor, a Bala dagger. However, you could pretty much take all of this off and just put on covert lethality. It is that does the insane amount of damage. That is the main mod to have a little look at, all right? So that is the main thing that I use with my Ash, and that was done in the gameplay there. Now, as I say, a one former build, we have got on corrosive projection for the reduced armor on all the enemies. We've got power drift for a little bit of ability strength, intensify as well. Fatal teleport is something that I really like. Teleport will perform a finisher on the target, dealing 200% extra damage. 50% of the energy cost is refunded on kill. Now, that is the real important mod, in my opinion, on this build, particularly for what we're doing. Augur Message for a little bit of extra duration. I really like building for duration on this particular build, mainly to make his invisibility last a little bit longer. Streamline for a little bit of efficiency. You see I'm rocking around 130 efficiency. Primed Continuity for that extra duration. Now, it's worth noting that even though this is a one former build, if you don't have Primed Continuity and Prime Flow, you'll actually probably get away with a zero former build on this. I'm not sure if I changed the polarities, I've got to be honest. Augur Secrets as well for that little bit of extra strength, and Stretch for a little bit of range. Worth noting, I've literally just got the base stats. So if I do get shot, odds are good I'm dead, especially towards high level gameplay. Hence why my duration is so important to me to stay alive. Now for arcanes that I'm running, Arcane Trickery and Energize, ideally I'd probably like to run either double Trickery, or maybe a Fury with that keeping into mind with Bladestorm as well. But that's the build I'm going for. And as I say, if I didn't have the Prime mods in here, that would be a Zero Former build. So that is your Zero Former build and your One Former build. And that brings us to the end of our Ash video. Next up will be Atlas. Hopefully get that out in the next few days. Guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please, 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 please do not forget to like it and drop a comment down below. Every single person that comments and likes really does help. Let me know what builds that you like running for your Ash as well. Let me know if I've missed anything and what you would like to see in the next video. The next video is going to be Atlas. And if you want to see the rest of this series and haven't yet done so, make sure you hit that sub button. If you want to talk to me in person, you can find me over at my Twitch page 24/7, that'd be a bit much, wouldn't it? 7 days a week. And that's www.twitch.tv/Shanksy. And I hope to see you over there, guys. Until then, peace!